What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Pusha T has released the first single from King Push titled Drug Dealers Anonymous, featuring a verse from none other than Jay-Z. Now, before I go any further, I gotta say this is a review of the song. This is not the song. So if you're looking for the actual song, go to Tidal, go on whatever site you go to download bootleg music. Don't downvote this, please. Anyways, getting into the song. It is pretty damn good. You knew by the title. Just hearing the title, Pusha T was going to spaz on this. He says, how many Madonnas can the Mazda fit? My brick talk is more than obvious. It's ominous. Only Pusha T can come up with like such slick drug talk. It's like second nature to him. He says the money count is the only moment of silence because hush money balances all this drugs and violence. Again, only a Pusha T line. And he's on a roll. I really enjoyed his last project, and I'm now looking forward to King Push a whole lot after hearing this. It's supposed to be coming at the end of the summer, and he doesn't have an actual date, but just having this record is going to generate a lot of buzz. I mean, it's the talk of Twitter right now. It's the talk of the internet. It's being streamed and played all over the world. Going back to Push's verse, it's not all drug talk. He says, America's nightmare in Flint. Children of a lesser god when your melatonin's got a tint. Man, it's moments like that. Like on his last project, he had a few moments where he kind of strays away from like that drug talk and really talks about like what's going on in the world and the environment and the community, the way blacks are being treated. And always thought Pusha T was good at doing that. He's good at talking about different situations because you can hear that he's passionate about it. Like when he spits those two lines that I just mentioned, you hear that he's just passionate. And even though he had a good verse, unfortunately, I think Pusha T is going to be overshadowed by Jay-Z because this is Jay's second verse since, popping back up on the map. It's the second verse we've gotten in a week. He dropped a verse on All the Way Up last week, Fat Joe and Remy Ma's song. And it's pretty much like all eyes on Hov. And not for nothing, this verse is the reason why people are going to pay attention to Jay-Z again. The first verse with, Fat Joe was kind of like a warm-up. It was a good verse. This one is stellar. It takes it to a whole nother level. It's almost like American Gangster Jay-Z. If you heard Young Jeezy's Seen It All that had Jay on it, this is like that level. I really enjoy that Jay takes the time to address the criticism towards him. For instance, Tommy Lauren, who has her own show, I don't know, a lot about it. I don't really care. She has a show and she criticized Beyonce's Super Bowl performance back in February. She said that she basically looked at it like, how can Beyonce be saying these things when her husband is a drug dealer? Even though Jay-Z sold drugs in the 90s and hasn't sold drugs since. But that's like the perception that white America has when it comes to Jay-Z. And that's why he says, 14 years a drug dealer and still counting. That's because that line represents how, the white media views Jay-Z. Whenever they bring him up, a lot of people bring up his drug dealer past, and it's stupid because Jay has done so much. He's been an inspiration. He's done so much for his career. For being an ex-drug dealer, he's had a better life than so many other people, the people that bash him. And getting back into the verse, he says, we call the shots simply by moving our thumbs, that boss talk. He said, life may be ambidextrous, counting with my right, whipping right with my left wrist. Whew, counting money with the right, whipping up drugs with the left. That's good. It's good. And that's why I compare it to like the Seen It All verse. Seen It All was like Jay reflecting on his drug dealing career. Not career, but drug dealing days. And this verse is kind of just like that as well. I think the one part that I really disliked, and I think everybody echoes the sentiment, is Jay-Z's Damn Daniel reference. Now, don't get me wrong. He flipped it nicely. You know, the Damn Daniel, the FBI, the white FBI van is still on us. But it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't want to see Hove drop meme type of bars ever. Like, after a fire verse, do you really want to toss out something about a meme? You know, that's going to be remembered forever. And that's like the worst way to end the verse. He could have came up with something else and it would have had such a meaningful impact. But other than that, it's a very good verse. Very good. One other thing I wanted to talk about was that Hove kind of hints at like Beyonce's Lemonade yet again. I like that he's dropping these little hints because it kind of, to me, symbolizes that his next album is going to go full in details on like his side of the story, which would be, like I've said in the past video, I think it would be a good idea. It would be cool to hear Jay really get on that vulnerable side. But him dropping these, you know, little hints here and there, like responding to things on Lemonade, is kind of clever. For instance, he spits, "Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists." And Beyonce said the first part of that on All Night. And it all starts, actually, the quote comes from the book A Course in Miracles. So it dates back to that, and then you could tell that Beyonce and Jay-Z kind of been reading that and studying up on it. So that's my take on Drug Dealers Anonymous. There's a lot to say on the verses because Pusha T and Jay-Z are two of the most technical rappers in the game. Like, when you listen to Pusha T, you really gotta listen several times. And then Jay, while in like previous years he's kind of, you know, went downhill, he's going all the way back up with the verses that you have to run back several times to get all the references to understand what he's saying. And that's really what I enjoy about Jay-Z's comeback thus far, his return, is that he's making these verses that you really have to look at and really have to analyze. And he's, for the most part, he's not fitting in with like trends. You know, besides the Damn Daniel reference, he's not trying to sit here and you know, rap over trap beats and drop the hottest lingo. He's doing Jay-Z. He's reflecting on his life, and I think he's going to continue to do that in the coming weeks, coming months. You know, we still have the DJ Khaled single, and then the inevitable Jay-Z album, whether it's this summer, this fall, whenever he chooses to drop it. But for now, let me know what you think about Drug Dealers Anonymous in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video, follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.